Right now, there's a big misconception that Social Security is going to be around to take care of you when you decide to retire. But in actuality, there's only enough for the money to last to year 2034. So ultimately, your retirement is up to you. Let's go over the 10 biggest expenses that you're going to face in retirement. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Maoli Vodi with financiallypresent.com, your one-stop shop for financial and investment education. And today we're talking about the top 10 expenses you can face here during retirement. So I'm in my 30s, my mid 30s, and retirement for me, I expect to work even well into retirement because I'm hoping to do work that allows me to stay sharp, stay educated, but be less strenuous on my body. So I don't plan to stop working until it's just not advantageous to do so. But ultimately, I'm in my working years like many of you watching this video. So the top 10 expenses you can face start with housing. This is a no-brainer. You need a place to live. When you're retired, that is going to be your biggest cost. It's the hope that you're probably paying off that property up until your retirement age. So now you would have something where you're probably only paying just taxes or just maintenance costs. But your living expenses, your roof over your head is extremely important. If you're able to reduce that cost, of course, that's the best. If you're able to live with other people, like family, to reduce that cost, that helps as well. Being sure that you live below your means or downsize during your earning years will make it much easier when you enter retirement. Number 2, Medicare costs. Medicare is a big source of health benefits when you become of retirement age. And there's Medicare Part A, Part B, Part D, and all of these other parts. But most of what you'll normally expect to pay each month is going to be Medicare Part B, which would be about $170 a month. And these premiums help you to take advantage of some of those benefits of Medicare benefits. Just know that if you're paying for Medicare Part D late, then there will be some late enrollment penalties. So be sure to watch out for that. Number 3, healthcare. When I think of healthcare, I'm thinking medical appointments, whether they're well visits or unwell visits, surgery, vitamins, supplements, physical therapy, having to work out at a regular basis. So you may have a gym membership if you're healthy at that age, Lord willing. And so many other things. It could be walking shoes, hiking, and all other things that are health focused. That's going to be a cost that you can look forward to when you retire. Number 4, transportation. Being able to get up and go as you please is extremely important because that's your level of freedom. Your transportation is extremely important at retirement age. You may need to go to the grocery store on a regular basis, like most people, even though we can get things delivered. You may have to go to doctor's appointments and just run errands. Sometimes that's part of staying active as an older person. So these are things to keep in mind. And when you have transportation, the costs that are associated with that are gas and maintenance. So something to look forward to. Number 5, taxes. Taxes are something that's going to be of complete certainty. You know for sure that you will have to pay taxes when you retire. And you can look forward to them most likely being higher. So if you own property like a home, or you have a car, or any other property, just like land, for example, or even investments, you can expect to pay taxes on these. Especially when you're talking about now you're in a phase of withdrawing from retirement accounts like your 401k or your IRA accounts. Those require you to pay taxes when you make withdrawals. So look forward to that. Number 6, food. This is also a no-brainer. You have to eat, even when you're old, right? But it's going to change because you may not be cooking for as many people as you did in your working years. It may be you, it may just be one other person. And although cooking is very cost effective, older people tend to say, hey, well, it might be cheaper for me to go out to eat on a regular basis, or more convenient. And that's going to be a regular cost. If you go out to eat, it could potentially be more though. So these are things to think about. Number 7, emergencies. Now, this is important because the unexpected can always happen. And it's expected that these things are going to happen, but it comes out of nowhere. It could be a loss of a family member. It could be an appliance breaking down or some type of tragedy with your home property and you may get displaced or things of that nature. But sometimes you need to have money for emergencies readily available and within reach. So it's important to have an emergency fund. If you're of retirement age, it's extremely important to have something along the lines of 3 to 6 months of your living costs readily available. And I guess not just sometimes, always, because you never know. Although you should. Number 8, entertainment. Now this is going to vary for everyone. Some people like to go out to eat and that's their entertainment. Some people go out to movies or go on excursions. All of these costs can vary, and depending on your lifestyle now, you may or may not do the same thing when you get older. In fact, it could be more expensive when you get older because now you feel as if you have that freedom or the time or increased money. But these costs can vary and they can be very, very expensive if you're not careful. So it could be traveling as well. So expenses regarding entertainment are going to be there because you don't want to be completely bored, but feel free to find hobbies and other things that are going to be more effective towards your living style at that age. Because remember, people tend to have more life than money in most cases. Number 9, travel. Travel is also extremely variable. It depends on your lifestyle. For some people, traveling domestically is all that they're going to do, and that's going to come at a cost, but not as much as traveling internationally, because now we're talking flights and cruises and things like that. So this cost is completely dependent upon your lifestyle, maybe even the family that you have. Maybe you want to visit them and they're across the country, or if they're close by, then your travel costs can be low and it will allow you to travel more out of the country and do bigger trips. On average, they say retirees will spend about $11,000 a year if they're traveling, and it could be up to 5 trips on average per year. So this can be a big cost. And again, if we're looking at future costs, it could mainly go up. And our last one, number 10, grandchildren. If you are blessed enough to have grandchildren as a retiree, you're going to have different levels of engagement with them. You could be there often and always, right? And have a very close relationship with them, or you could be further removed and maybe you buy gifts and you send cards and things of that nature. But if you're there locally, maybe you might even take care of them, or you might spend more because you're there locally. Ultimately, having grandchildren is going to be an expense and also another way to leave a legacy with them. And hopefully not only leaving money or gifts or things, but you would leave your legacy in the form of whatever education you have and experiences that you can share with these kids. So there you have it. These are the 10 expenses that you can expect in retirement age. What do you think? Do you think I'm missing any? Do you think that there are some that make you feel a little bit sad or worried? If you have any concerns, leave them in the comments below. And if you're concerned about how to calculate how much you're going to need for retirement, I'm going to feature that in a whole different video, and that's going to be linked above. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And if this video was helpful, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the page, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on future content. And as always, stay present.